After the heavy bombardment and shelling of Jerusalem and Netanya by the Jordanian Arab Legion, Uzi Narkis, the commander of the central region, receives the order to attack and bring the enemy fire to a halt. The Harel Brigade is prepared to break through from the north, while the Paratroop Brigade is ready to capture the Old City and the Jordanian area surrounding it. Heavy fighting breaks out on Ammunition Hill, in the fortified trenches, and at the police academy. Motagur's paratroopers break through to the Old City. The victorious heroes enter through the gates of the Old City of Jerusalem and arrive at the Western Wall filled with jubilation.
Yom Yerushalayim Sameach, greetings from Alumni. Dr. Michael Levinstein here. I graduated Or Chaim in 1977. After learning yeshiva and finishing medical school, Bezrat Hashem, I came on Aliyah in the mid-80s and was drafted into the IDF Tzal in the early 90s. I was given the job as a Rofeg Gdud, the doctor of a battalion. My battalion was affiliated with an Air Force unit.
Hi, my name is Rachel Rhodes, and I graduated Ulpana in 2011. I then went to a year in Israel at Broadmunders. Afterwards, I decided I didn't want to leave, so I drafted into the Israeli army, and I've been here for a year and 5 months, and it's been an absolutely amazing experience.
Hello, I'm Narelle Blumenfeld, and I'm a proud 2011 graduate of Ulpana. After graduating, I went to Harova for seminary, and then I did Sherut Leumi at the Shari Tzedek Hospital in Jerusalem.
I'm Aaron Lesser. I graduated Or Chaim, class of 2010. I joined the IDF in 2012, and I served until 2013 in its artillery unit.
Hi, my name is Tiki Yaris. I graduated from Ulpana in 2011.
Hi, my name is Dahlia Newman. I graduated in 2011.
And my name is Ahava Gunberg. I graduated Ulpana in 2011.
After my year in Shalavim, I decided to do Sherut Leumi. I worked at a school for children with special needs in Yerushalayim. It was an extremely eye-opening experience getting to work hands-on, not only with Israeli children, but with the Israeli staff and with the other Israeli Bnot Sherut.
I spent a year at Harova and decided to do Sherut Leumi. I worked at a school in Lagush called Reishi. It's integrated with special needs kids together in the classroom with regular kids. I did it along with Samara Nathanson. It was an amazing, amazing experience.
I went to seminary for the year in MMY. And after that, I decided to do Sherut Leumi. I volunteered in a school in Malay Dumim, and it was a really incredible experience.
I graduated in 2009. After 4 great years in Or Chaim, I went to a yeshiva in Petach Tikva, the Hezder yeshiva there, and I completed a degree in history at York. And I attended another yeshiva, Yeshivat Otniel, another Hezder yeshiva. And after that, I went into the army.
And we now have with us his Saba, my father, who is a veteran of the 1948 war.
I was born in Satmir, which is in Transylvania, Romania. In 1939, the Hungarians took over this part. They ordered us to go into a ghetto, and after a while, they took us to Auschwitz. The British brought us to Cyprus, and we were there as a prisoner. After 9 months, we made it to Israel. We were in the Haganah. For a very short period of time, because right after that, it was organized in Tzahal.
Obviously, my background in Or Chaim helped me both having at a number of stages of my army career Once we were called Friday night, we were in the middle of davening Kabbalat Shabbat in a base in the Jordan Valley. The alarm went off and there was a penetration in the security fence, and of course the ambulance with me in it went to the fence. After a few hours, it was getting close to midnight, we saw red flares. Red flares means there's injured or wounded, and they set up the field hospital. And as we were preparing that, I looked at my watch and it was already after midnight. We haven't eaten, we haven't made kiddush. The only thing they brought us was barekas, and my question was, can you make kiddush on barekas? I must have dozed off that day in Or Chaim when they taught us that halacha, and I did what I did. 2 days later, I discussed the case with Rabbi Binyamin Tabori, our Rosh Yeshiva from Or Chaim, Sherut Leumi, and he gave me the answer that he answered. But the point is, you don't have to make kiddush on barekas if you don't have bread or wine.
Right now, my job is Kishrei Chutz, which is public relations to foreign armies. I work with the Egyptian army, and my job is to basically keep the Eskem Shalom between the two countries. I'm actually right now on the border of Egypt, and it's pretty amazing.
I worked in chirurgia, which is a pre- and post-op ward. I also worked in the MV ward, which is for mothers and infants after giving birth or being born. It was a very difficult experience, but it was definitely rewarding and worthwhile.
Our main duties consisted of protecting Israel's border in case of war, being a first response to any enemy attacks. In addition to that, we were stationed in Yehuda v'Shomron to protect Israeli settlements from any possible attacks or riots that could occur.
In a unit called the Frontal Landing Unit. In Hebrew it's called Yahak. And our job is to land big transport planes outside of Air Force bases. So my job, specifically in the unit, is to be partially to be first response as a medic, and also to test the ground to make sure that it's viable for a plane to land, make sure there isn't any water, make sure it won't get stuck, and make sure it can take off safely back to the Air Force Base.
I believe that serving in the Israeli army is a huge privilege.
I received the Chaylet Mitzdayenet of Chativat Dromit, which is like an award of excellence, and it's just crazy to think that I came so far. I remember my first few days in basic training, my commanders were yelling at me, do this, do that, and I was doing the total opposite thing, thinking I was doing this amazing job, but I wasn't. And it's just really cool to watch yourself grow.
I was so happy and grateful to be able to give back to my country.
When I was in the medics course, I went around with my choger, my army identification card, and pictures of my grandfather when he was in the army. It kept me strong for a number of times. So when I got to the end, when I got to the ceremony at the end, that was, I think, my favorite moment so far of my army service. Really feeling that after 65 years.
65?
48. Yeah, of him being a medic also in the War of Independence, and the people that he saved, so hopefully I'll be able to continue the way.
I'm so thankful that I was given that opportunity to give back.
In addition to all the Zionist values which were instilled in me during my time in Or Chaim, I realized that if you truly believe in something, you can't rely on others to go out and fulfill it for you. And it's for that reason that I decided to go out and fulfill the dream which Jews have had for thousands of years, which is to have our own country and to have an army to protect our people around the world.
I owe a lot of the reason that I'm here and my love for Israel from Opana, for all the Yom Ha'atzmaut, Yom HaZikaron, all the fun activities that gave me the love for Israel, definitely pushed me to want to join, and I really recommend it to everyone. So Yom Yerushalayim Sameach, and if you ever want to join the army, speak to me.
I really have to thank my parents and the Or Chaim Opana community for instilling such a strong love and appreciation for Israel. Really, that passion gave me the strength to move to Israel and make Aliyah, and I'm not the only one. There's 8 of us right now living here, studying, and I'm thankful and proud to be part of such a strong grade and a strong community, from a strong community, and I just wanted to wish you a Chag Sameach, a Yom Yerushalayim Sameach, and send you lots of love from Israel.
I do think that for the 4 years that I was in Or Chaim, dedication to Israel and commitment to honor Israel's soldiers really sent me a message and, you know, convinced me that it was the right thing to do and that there was support in the community in Toronto. And that people had done it before and people continue to do it. So I think that instead of one big moment, it was one very long education for Or Chaim. Everybody should come to Israel. He made it work, and he had to buy chocolate and butter in the black market.
I'm very proud. I was very happy when I heard that Akiva, on his own, decided to join the Israeli army.
Right after 9/11, I was checking the Eruv in our base once again in the Jordan Valley. Once again, there was a siren which went off and there was a penetrator seen to try to penetrate through the northern part of the Dead Sea. The helicopters went out, the fire brigades, the police, the army, and eventually this fellow, his name was John or something like that, was a Romanian worker who was pulled out of the Dead Sea. This was before the big infiltrations, and he tried to get into Israel to work. And at that time I said to myself, Baruch Hashem, that I studied in Or Chaim and came on Aliyah, because to paraphrase the famous Hasidic story of Rav Zusha, when we get to Olam Haba, we're asked, Tzipita liyeshua, did you hope for Geula? They're not going to ask me, why weren't you Ben Gurion, why weren't you Rabin, why weren't you Begin? But they might ask me, why didn't you have the Mesirut Nefesh of this John from Romania who was willing to do a few dangerous things to come to Eretz Yisrael, and all you have to do today is get on a plane and come here to see Maleh Dumim. And I wish everybody Yom Yerushalayim Sameach. Greetings from Israel, from E1 behind us if you didn't notice.
I was really fortunate to have so many other Opana girls along with me experiencing the same thing, and it was really thanks to Opana that we all had this amazing love for Israel, and we were all together doing Sherut Leumi and helping our country.
I want to thank Opana for instilling in me the values of appreciating and loving Israel.
Now we all live together
In Kiva Shmuel.
And we go to Bar Ilan.
Yom Yerushalayim Sameach!